Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the 6 p.m. Prayer for Peace program, Kardec Radio, where we're always nourishing our souls. Thank you so much for joining. And big hello to all of you who may be listening to this later on demand. My name's Teresa Castro, and I am your host. And as always, we have a short message before our prayer, which is a prayer for peace. And the message today comes from the book Minutes of Wisdom. And this book is written by Carlos Pastorino. So this is not a psychographed book. I'm sure it was inspired. But this is, and Carlos Pastorino was actually a priest, from what I understand, but he did a lot of good for Spiritism and disseminating Spiritism. And he wrote this lovely book that is technically not a Spiritist book or doctrine, part of the doctrine. It's entitled Minutes of Wisdom, and it has not been psychographed into English. It has not been translated into English. But here is a translation for us. So this it comes from it's a very small book, but it's very popular in Brazil, from what I understand. And it is a lovely book, very beautiful messages. And so today it's taken from chapter 78. So if you have the book. So here's what Carlos would like to tell us. He says, what matters above all else is the present moment. What our parents were is of no importance. What counts is who you are right now. The present moment is the creator of your tomorrow. Your happiness is grounded in your thoughts of today. We are slaves to yesterday, but we are masters of our tomorrow. Pay closer attention to the passing moment, to what you are experiencing right now. For upon this now depends your tomorrow. Beautiful message. So what is he telling us here about, for us who are out there still playing the naming, blaming game and, I'm this way because my parents were this way, or, I can't help myself because, these were my parents and this is how they behaved, or, listing all the shortcomings of our parents. He's saying, no. This is not what's important. Of course, people aren't perfect and some parenting is better than others. But he says, no, what we really need to focus on is who we are right now. Because he said, that's really the present moment is really all we have to work with. And it's the creator of tomorrow. So what I do now, so if I spend my time naming, blaming, pointing fingers, this is what I plan for tomorrow, a continuation of naming, blaming, pointing fingers. And what does he mean when he says we're slaves to yesterday? Just the simplicity that we really can't take it back. So whatever we did yesterday, we can't change that. It's done. We may need to go back and alter or modify or make up for maybe something we've done wasn't so great, but we cannot take it back. We cannot go back and make it different. But he says, we are masters of our tomorrow. So we really are masters in this moment of what we do with this moment. We can predict what tomorrow will look like based on what I do with this moment. So he says we need to pay, closer attention because, to the really now moment, because right there, we're building our future tomorrow. And I think this is what Chico Xavier said, that we can't change our past, but we can make a better tomorrow. So it is a beautiful and it's a very hopeful message, filled with a lot of consolation that we can move past our hereditary, that just because our parents or other family members are a certain way, it does not bind us and say that this must be our path as well. We need to remember that blood ties they don't work that way, even though we're coming from a history of believing that. That is not true. That we know we are a universal family. So thank you, Carlos Pastorino, for that message of let's bring ourselves into the now moment and think about what is it I can do today to make my life better tomorrow. And also, he says that your happiness is grounded in your thoughts of today. And we remember from chapter 5, Blessed are the afflicted, from the Gospel according to Spiritism, that this happiness is a relative happiness. So it really is based in our consciousness, in our conscience. How clear is our conscience? Which is probably going to be connected to where our thoughts, what they revolve around, and the importance of our thoughts, and how we know we attract what we admit. And we're not going to be attracting really high, good order spirits if we're kind of down in the low category of thinking, based on disharmony, anger, hatred. That's what we're going to be attracting to ourselves. So we can do our own little experiment if we're skeptical and find out. We can also do our own little experiment and elevate our thoughts and find out that way as well, attracting good spirits. So I invite you now to join me in a prayer, and this is a prayer for peace, world peace. Blessed Mother, our Divine Father, we are ever so grateful in your presence for the sacred life that has been bestowed upon us. We are thankful, we are humbled, and we are reverent in your greatness, recognizing our very smallness, but with great need for you. And in this prayer, we are praying for world peace, that our planet may find itself with calm, resignation, acceptance. And as this flows from coast to coast, through all the great waters, may each brother and sister feel this energy of hope, of peace, of calm, remembering ourselves as brothers and sisters, all equal in the eyes of God. And in our gratitude, we are grateful for the message and lessons that our brother Jesus brought to the earth, that we may have the opportunity to grow and change ourselves and free ourselves from the shackles that bind us, recognizing the importance of forgiveness, remembering the words of Allan Kardec, there is no salvation without charity. And in your loving embrace, we trust that the peace that the world can never give nor take away will descend upon the earth, lightening all hearts, erasing all fears, hatred, rage, and allowing the earth to raise in vibration, becoming more of a place of a regenerated world. We are praying for world leaders and for all those who find themselves in positions of power, that they recognize their great responsibility and an instrument of God, remembering their commitments before they came, becoming more receptive to the good spirits and their loving, kind words that are whispered in their ears. And we thank you for the Spiritist doctrine that not only consoles but helps us to understand not only ourselves but our brothers and sisters, and to better navigate in this very troubled world. And with your grace, we humbly close this prayer session, and so be it. My friends, thank you so much for joining. I hope you'll come again next Sunday, where we can once again pray for peace. Thank you so much, and let us go forward into our week, remembering that peace really can begin by doing something for someone else. Thank you so much.